we're going to explain the could not find a file named pubspec.yaml error in Flutter. This frustrating error pops up when Flutter can't locate the vital pubspec.yaml file in your project. This file acts like the project's configuration file, telling Flutter everything it needs to know about your app, including its name, dependencies, like external packages you're using, and version number. If Flutter doesn't find it, it can't build or run your app. So let's troubleshoot this. Check the file's existence and location. First, make absolutely sure the pubspec.yaml file actually exists within your Flutter project's root directory. This is the top-level folder of your project, the one containing the Android and iOS folders. Open your project folder using your File Explorer, like Finder on Mac or File Explorer on Windows, and look for it. It's a text file, so it might look slightly different from other files. If it's missing, that's the root problem. 2. Verify project structure. Ensure your project's directory structure is correct. A correctly structured Flutter project will always have the pubspec.yaml file at the top level. If you've accidentally moved or deleted this file, you'll need to recreate it. It's easy enough to do, as Flutter provides a basic template. For the most part, you won't have to write one from scratch. 3. Recreating pubspec.yaml. If you've confirmed that the pubspec.yaml file is missing or corrupted, you can try recreating it. While it seems like a complex file, the simplest way to create a new pubspec.yaml file is to use your IDE's built-in features such as creating a new Flutter project, or potentially having it try to create it for you by giving you the option to select it. Most IDEs will offer a straightforward way to create this file. You can then copy over things like the project name, description, and dependencies. 4. IDE in Flutter. Doctor. Sometimes your IDE, like Android Studio, VS Code, or IntelliJ, might not correctly recognize your Flutter project. Make sure your IDE is properly configured for Flutter development. Run Flutter Doctor in your terminal or command prompt. This command checks for any issues with your Flutter environment, including its SDK and other necessary components. If it finds any issues, try addressing them as the documentation indicates. Fixing these issues is important, as an incorrectly configured Flutter environment might hide issues. 5. Clean and rebuild. Even after fixing file-related issues, sometimes the project needs a clean rebuild. In your terminal or command prompt, navigate to your project's root directory and run flutter clean, followed by flutter pub get. Flutter clean removes any built artifacts, and flutter pub get downloads and installs all the dependencies listed in your pubspec.yaml file. This will ensure all things are correctly updated. 6. Check for typos. Double-check the spelling of pubspec.yaml. Even a tiny typo, like a missing space or incorrect capitalization, will prevent Flutter from finding the file. Make sure it's exactly pubspec.yaml, lowercase. 7. Project corruption. If none of the above steps work, the project itself might be corrupted. The most straightforward solution is to create a fresh new Flutter project and move your code over into the new structure. It is important to back up before doing so to avoid any issues. This is a last resort, but sometimes necessary for a clean slate.